Hi students, we're going to do a game together and it's from Prep Test 92. As of the day that I'm making this video is the most recent prep test, section 2, and it's the third game. So when you see me looking down, I'm actually looking at the exam, which I have in front of me. I can't put it on the screen, but you can print it out and put it in front of you, or you can have Prep Plus open in another window. So first thing we're going to do is set up our diagram. Here's what I know. I would say this is an ordering game, but this is an unusual game. We have, it says like we have 3 available sessions to schedule these people, these employees. This is my roster, what I call the roster. I'm going to set that up first. Let's say that M, P, Q, S, T, these are going to be distributed onto our base. Now, some of you might wonder why I am setting up 6 spots when we only have 3 available spots. It's because it just keeps it neater for me. This to me visually makes more sense. And I'm going to call this Wednesday. And I'm also going to say that we have a morning and an afternoon. That kind of work intuitively. You know, the morning is on top, the afternoon is on bottom. And here's what we have available. Not that, not that, not that. So I'm just going to X those off. And to me, this base visually makes the most sense to me and it works intuitively. You could have set it up another way, but personally, like you could have done it like this and said, we'll call this Wednesday afternoon. That's fine too. I just like this more. It's what works for you is what matters when it comes to diagramming. So now that we have our base and we have our roster, let's look at our rules. Let's figure out how to diagram our rules. Well, here's something I know. Basically, Q needs to be either here or here. That's our first rule. What about our next rule? S is going to have to be either here or here. The next rule is a relative sequencing rule. Here's what it says. And the next one is, it's kind of it's worded as a conditional, except as it applies, it's not really a conditional, in my opinion, because what it's telling us is that if anybody is over here in that spot, well, we need to have more variables over there, except whether or not if there are variables in Friday, let's say we had 1 person right here, well, we need to have at least 2 over here. But if we didn't have any variables placed in Friday afternoon, we would still have more on Wednesday afternoon, because if this was empty, well, then this would by definition have more. There's no way we could put all 5 people right here because T needs to be before P. So no matter what, Wednesday afternoon will have more variables assigned to it than Friday afternoon. Not a lot of rules. It always makes me nervous. I like it when there is a lot of rules, but there's not, but that's okay. Well, one thing you could do if you wanted to is to kind of set up boards where we use the options for Q and for S, because Q is limited to 2 spots and S is also limited to 2 spots. So if you wanted to, what you could do is and whether or not you like to go right to the questions or set up boards is very much a personal choice. I did it all kinds of different ways when I was practicing. So for instance, I could put S could go on either Wednesday afternoon or Friday afternoon. So what I'm going to do is on my left side, I'm going to put S on Wednesday afternoon. On my right side, I'll put S on Friday afternoon. And then Q could go on either Friday spot. So going back to my left side, I'll put Q on Friday morning and then Q on Friday afternoon. And back to my right side, I'm going to do the same thing. And these are kind of my templates, my beginning templates, my boards, as I like to call them. Something I can look at right away and I know that I can get rid of is my quadrant 4 over here. This guy. This can't happen. Because this happened if S and Q were both in my Friday afternoon spot. I would need all 3 of my other variables to be in my Wednesday afternoon spot. And my 3 other variables would be M, P, and T. But T is supposed to be before P, not with it. So for that reason, this is not a thing. And we're now down to just 3 templates or 3 boards. I always suggest that on the LSAT, do not erase, because erasing is time consuming. If you're using a number 2 pencil eraser, it won't even be a very good erase. I suggest to very carefully slash through, just so that you know this is not a usable option. But I'm not taking LSAT and I like to erase sometimes so I have more space so I can show y'all stuff. So these are our 3 possible templates. And then from there, for those 3, the only 3 things we have left to assign are T and then P, with T needs to come before P. And then we also have to assign M. M doesn't have a rule attached to it, so I'm going to notate that with an asterisk above it. That's what I like to do when I have a free agent. So M is free. This makes it a little bit less intimidating for me when I have boards. So let's look at our questions. The first one is an apply the rules question. It's just saying a complete and accurate list. And what I'm going to do is basically use each rule to eliminate something or more than one thing. So my first rule on my paper I can see is that Q is on Friday. So does anything violate that? A obeys that rule, B obeys that rule, C obeys that rule, E violates that rule, so E is gone. My next rule is that S needs to be sometime in the afternoon. S is not a morning person. Basically, S wouldn't go here. So do any of my answer choices violate that rule? Yeah, C does. So C is out. Now what about the rule that T needs to come before P? A obeys that rule. B doesn't. Violates that rule, so I can take away B. And then I also have a rule about there being more variables here than here. And A violates that rule. A gives us the same number of variables in those 2 spots. I wanted to have more in the first one. So for that reason, my correct answer is D. Okay, let's look at the next one. My dog's sleeping right now, so I might be able to film another video. So exciting. So this is a cannot be true, must be false. You can also think of it as could be true, except. Those are all 3 of those wordings mean the same thing. The 4 incorrect answers will be things that could be true, and then we're going to have one that is not, it's not even possible. I can see it by looking at my templates and by looking at the answer choices. The correct answer is C. Q and S can't be together. Do you remember how we got rid of that one? I knew how to rewind and edit, or I would insert it in here, but you can rewind. That one that I went, no, that one that I got rid of, that one had Q and S together, and we had to get rid of it. The only way to put them together, because Q needs to be on Friday and S needs to be in the afternoon, the only way to put them together was to put them over here on Friday afternoon. And I concluded that that was bad because then I would have to have all three of the other variables over here on Wednesday afternoon. And we can't have all three of them together because T needs to come before P. So there's no way that Q and S could be together, and that's the correct answer is C. What else do we have? Okay, the next one. This is a could be true, so if we see like one example of this happening, then it's the correct answer. Okay, we need to make sure that S and T are apart. They're not together. They can't be together. So I would work this out using, I would just like take one template and see what happens. Let's start with that. You know, something you shouldn't write on your master diagram, but I'm going to. If I was going to put T in a spot, you get this one here, where it can't be with S, I would put it right here because P needs to come after. And then once I assign that, I would have to put the last remaining variable right here because that spot needs, Wednesday afternoon needs to have more than Friday afternoon. So this is one possible way that I could separate S and T, and this works. Right? It doesn't violate any rules, does it? T is before P. It's good to me. So let me see if I have my answer yet. Which of the following could be true? I don't see any of these answer choices represented in the possibility I just created. So we're going to have to use another template and fulfill this condition. Let's look at this one. Again, if S and T aren't together, well, that T would have to be here so that P could be here. And then this wouldn't even work. This isn't a thing because we need more on Wednesday afternoon than Friday afternoon. So now let's go over to our top right. We need S and T not to be together. This should be a lot easier for this one. I think that T right here, P right here. This way we have T before P, and then M, our last variable, would go right there. And this makes everything work. We have more variables in Wednesday afternoon than Friday afternoon. We have T before P. We've obeyed our Q and S rule. Awesome. And that's why B is the correct answer choice, because that's what B is referring to. What about number 17? This is a local condition, but there's like two versions of it. There's two different ways for me to make M part of Friday. It could be Friday afternoon. It could be Friday morning. Let's try both. I'm going to try making M a Friday morning session. So now what needs to happen? Well, I'm trying to figure out what to assign next. Let's try assigning the TP rule next. Because T needs to be before P. So what I could do T and then P. I don't think that would work. I don't think so. Because then there would be no way for this to have more than that. Because Q needs to be on Friday, which would leave me only S could possibly be here. So this isn't going to work. We can't do that. We can't put T and P over there. So let's try putting, let's do T and then P. We could also maybe do T and then P. Let's see how I can make these work. So looking at my left side, I just need to assign Q somewhere on Friday and S somewhere in the afternoon. So I put S right here, and then Q could be either over here on Friday morning or later on Friday afternoon. Either one works. What about my right side? I know S needs to be in the afternoon, so S can't go here because we can't put two things there. S would have to go in Wednesday afternoon. That means Q would have to be on Friday, so Q would have to be here. So these are two possibilities for M being on a Friday session. Now we could have more, but let's see if we can maybe solve it like this. It's a must be true. So I want to feel confident to answer a must be true based on only half the possibilities, only some of the possibilities. I haven't worked out like if M was on Friday afternoon, but maybe I can get rid of some stuff. But must be true. Well, B doesn't have to be true. What about C? C doesn't have to be true. What about D? Doesn't have to be true. E looks like it's true in both of my options. So, and so does A. So between one of those two, one of them is correct. We're gonna have to do some more work. We're gonna have to create some more work. But just a tip, for those of y'all who are worried about time, this would at least give you like a 50% chance of getting it right, as opposed to if you took a wild guess, be like a 20% chance. So just create as much work as you can. But let's create the rest of the work. Let's move M down to Friday afternoon. C1, M, empty, empty, empty. Ooh, okay, interesting. One thing I know, because once I put M on Friday afternoon, we for sure need at least two things, at least two variables, aka things, over here on Wednesday afternoon, don't we? Yes. And so what else do we know? S needs to be in the afternoon, and there's no way we could put it Friday afternoon. So we're gonna have to put S right here over on Wednesday afternoon. We also know that Q needs to be on Friday, and there's no way we could put it Friday afternoon. We're gonna have to put Q in Friday morning. Now what else do we know? I know that T comes before P. And I think there's only one way to assign that, because I couldn't do this. That wouldn't work, because then I'd have more Friday afternoon than Wednesday afternoon. In fact, what I should have done in the beginning is kind of like capped off. I can't have more than one there. This lets me know that like that group is now full. It's just M. So TP, you're going to have to fall like this. That was just extra work I did for no real reason. So hopefully y'all can read this. This is what I have for my other option. I have like S and T together on Wednesday afternoon. Obviously nobody on Thursday. My Friday morning is Q and P, and my Friday afternoon is M. So A looks like it's the one that must be true. E is not necessarily true, right? M could be on Friday afternoon. So A is the correct answer. Got rid of that one. What about number 18, our last one? Well, I'm going to write on my master diagram now. If T is on Friday, then T has to be over here. so that P can come after it. Now, what else do we know? Well, I know that I can't put any more variables into the Friday afternoon spot because that's not possible. We only have 3 variables left to assign, which is S, Q, and M. There's no more variables that go Friday afternoon. So S is going to have to go over here on Wednesday afternoon, since it needs to be in the afternoon. And Q will have to be Friday morning because Q needs to be on Friday. And this means that M, our only variable left, will have to be on Wednesday afternoon because we need this group to be bigger than that. So that's our answer. That's our solution. So the answer is B. Wow, we got them all right. I hope this has been really helpful for everybody who's watched. Thank you so much for watching my video. I absolutely love making these, and I just hope that they are helpful to everybody who watches them. I remember like it was yesterday studying for my LSAT. My contact information is below. I don't like to brag, but I am a 180 scorer as well as an LSAT instructor. So if you need help, please call me or text me or add me on a thing. All that information is below. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you later.